Friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with the latest developments. Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the immediate partial mobilization of Russian citizens on Wednesday, a move that threatens to escalate his faltering invasion of Ukraine following a string of defeats that caused recriminations in Moscow. Putin said in a speech that he would use all the means at our disposal, and even raised the specter of nuclear weapons, if he deemed the territorial integrity of Russia to be jeopardized. The mobilization means citizens who are in the reserve could be called up, and those with military experience would be subject to conscription, Putin said, adding that the necessary decree had already been signed and took effect on Wednesday. Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said on Russian television Wednesday morning that the country will call up 300,000 reservists. These are not some people who have never heard of the army, Shoigu said. These are those who have served, have a military registration specialty, have had military experience. It comes after a sudden and successful Ukrainian offensive through most of occupied Kharkiv swung momentum in the conflict back towards Kyiv this month. The counter-attacks galvanized Ukraine's western backers and caused anger in Russia, which has time and again been stymied in its full-scale assault of its neighboring state that it launched 7 months ago. Our country also has various means of destruction and in some components more modern than those of the NATO countries, and if the territorial integrity of our country is threatened, we will certainly use all the means at our disposal to protect Russia and our people, Putin said in his speech Wednesday, indicating a possible new chapter in the months-long conflict. Addressing the potential for escalation and use of nuclear weapons, Putin said, "Those who try to blackmail us with nuclear weapons should know that the prevailing winds can turn in their direction." The announcement comes as Russia is believed to face shortages of manpower and follows amendments to Russia's law on military service made Tuesday, which raised the penalties for resistance related to military service or coercion to violate an official military order during a period of mobilization or martial law. Putin framed the ongoing fighting as part of a larger struggle for Russian survival against a West whose goal as it is to weaken, divide and ultimately destroy our country. Several Russian-occupied regions of Ukraine announced that they will hold referendums on formally joining Russia this week, votes that have widely been dismissed as shams intended to boost Putin's justifications for further attacks on Ukrainian territory. They are already saying directly that they were able to split the Soviet Union in 1991 and now the time has come for Russia to break up into a multitude of regions and areas which are fatally hostile to each other, Putin said. But NATO leaders dismissed the announcement as a sign of panic in the Kremlin, and reaffirmed their commitment to supporting Ukraine's military. US President Joe Biden condemned the mobilization and the Kremlin's planned votes, during his speech to the United Nations General Assembly on Wednesday. Just today, President Putin has made overt nuclear threats towards Europe. Now Russia is calling up more soldiers to join the fight, and the Kremlin is organizing sham referenda to try to annex parts of Ukraine, Biden said. The world should see these outrageous acts for what they are. Putin claims he had to act because Russia was threatened, but no one threatened Russia, and no one other than Russia sought conflict, Biden added. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz meanwhile called the mobilization an act of despair. Russia cannot win this war. But this is a kind of panic reaction, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte added Wednesday.